Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, Sarah Dino. Please, if you're here, kindly subscribe to my channel. Please like, comment, and share this video. On my last video, I discussed what Form A is all about. I gave details and then the banks that you should use when making this application. So today I'm going to be talking about the documents required for this application and what you can do once your application gets rejected on the trade system portal. First, I hope you know that when you want to make this application, you must make sure that your BVN is connected to your email. Without this, you cannot make this application. You cannot proceed with this application. So always make sure that your BVN is connected to your email. If you are not sure, or when you start this, you'll be notified that it is not. But if it is, it will go through. But if your BVN is not connected to your email, you can call any bank branch, any bank that you are banking with. Just call them and ask them the branch or the bank that you opened, that you created your BVN with. Once that you can actually ask any bank that you're banking with. Once they tell you, you go to that bank. The branch doesn't matter. Just go to that bank and tell them to connect your BVN to your email so that you can be able to make this application. Alright, that being said, I'd like us to talk about the documents that you'll be needing to upload when making this application. We have about 6-7 of them. But I will list all of them here. Alright, number 1 is your international passport bio data page. Number 2 is your undergraduate or degree certificate. This depends on the level of education that you have, the last level of education or the level that you're going for. If you're going for your master's, you have to upload your BSc certificate. If you're going for undergraduate, you have to upload maybe your OND certificate, original certificate. So that is what you have to upload. But if what you have is just your statement of results, make sure to certify the true copy with a seal on it, please. If not, the bank will reject it. I don't want to be going through, they have rejected it, what do I do? Just get all these things available before making this application. Right. The third one is a letter of offer, your offer letter, kind of your admission letter, which is your unconditional offer letter, your admission letter. Then the next one is your payments advice from your institution, simply called invoice. This should state the amount that you are supposed to pay to the school, right? It should also state your bank's details, the bank detail of your institution, and then the tuition amount. It's basically an invoice, from the school stating how much you're supposed to pay, and then the school's bank details. But make sure that this is on the school's letterhead. If not, some banks reject your application, because they need to trust that this thing you are doing is even, from a genuine school. Then number 5 is a letter of debit authorization to debit your account of the requested fund. Number 6 is your WAEC/NECO certificate. Some banks also require NYSC certificate. So left for me, I would say upload anything, any document at all. Just upload it so that the bank will not come back asking you for any documents, right? Just upload any document that you can upload. The bank will not take it. It's just a soft copy. So just upload, please. And then another one is number 7, actually, is a marriage certificate or evidence of change of name. That is, if you have changed your name, your surname, if you got married and changed your surname, just get an evidence to show that you have changed your name from this to that. That is if you are married or have ever changed your name. Then another one is evidence of relationship. You can only upload this if you're using a sibling's account to make this application. If you're using a sibling's account, a spouse account, or a parent's account, this only applies to you if you are using a third party to make this application. But when doing this, make sure to log this application with your for example, if you are using a third party account, make sure that you log in to your application, right, with that person's BVN, with that person's portal. BVN, the person's portal is the same thing, right? So make sure that you log in to your application, or you create or initiate your application with the person's with the third party's BVN or portal. For example, if the third party is your spouse, your parents, or a sibling, make sure that the person log this application with their own BVN, so that the account to be debited will tally with the application that you're making. If, for example, you are making this Form A, or initiating this Form A application with your father's account, and then your father uses their own portal or their own BVN, right? And then on the process, when it gets to this application, then you put your own account number. The bank will reject it too. The bank will reject it, right? Because it doesn't tally. So make sure that if it is your father's account that you're using to log in this application, for example, people sometimes do this when they are not banking with the bank they want to initiate their Form A with. So if, for example, your father has UBA account that is up to 3 months, and you don't have a UBA account that is up to 3 months, because UBA requires you to apply with an account that is up to 3 months, old. So if, for example, your father has a UBA account that is up to 3 months, old, and you want to log this account or this application with his account, that means you have to create a portal with his account, open a portal with his BVN, and then create or initiate your application with his portal, that is his BVN. That is the only way this will go. But if you, for example, you don't have a UBA account that is up to 3 months and your father has, then you initiate this application with your father's account and your own portal, it will not go. It's not tally. The bank will reject it. And once they reject it, there is nothing you can do. You have to start all over again, right? So always make sure that the bank and the BVN or the portal that you are using tallies, so that your application doesn't get rejected. Also note that you can only use your parents', spouse, or siblings' accounts. Why doing this? You cannot use a friend's account. No, because you need to provide evidence of relationship, like birth certificates or marriage certificates. So if, for example, you use a friend's account, what will you provide? Nothing. So it's better, it's not like it's better, it is a policy that you use a relative's account, so long as you have the same surname with that person. It's something that you can defend with a birth certificate or marriage certificate. So this is what you need, or all that you need to make this, the document that you need to make this application. And finally, Make sure that all the documents that you are uploading are in PDF format. And after your application, before you submit, make sure to open all the things, all the documents that you have uploaded, to make sure that they are accessible, so that the bank does not go struggling to open it and it doesn't open. Because if it doesn't open, they will still reject it, come back to you and tell you that you need to upload this because they were unable to access it. So try and make sure that all the documents that you have uploaded was accessible or can be accessed. Now, for rejected Form A applications, I'll definitely start with UBA. Yeah, because this bank, they are straightforward. They'll tell you this and that is it, right? I really don't know about other banks, but I'll just say a few things I know about other banks. Yeah. So once UBA rejects your application because of insufficient funding, for instance, because insufficient funding is usually very difficult. But when your application is rejected because you did not submit some document, you can just submit it, upload it, and they will treat your application. But when your document, or rather when your application is rejected because of insufficient funding, when I say insufficient funding, I mean, if for example you want to make a payment of £4,000, right? £4,000, which is, if I'm using today's rate, it will be around 2,228,000 naira, naira equivalent. Then in your accounts you have about say 2,128,000. that is, you ran short of 100,000 naira. Then UBA will reject your application for insufficient funding, and then it will be stated on your workflow that they will get back to treat your application in 7 days. And your 7 days starts counting from the day you fund your account. So if, for example, they rejected your application for insufficient funding, which the insufficient funding will be a short of 100,000, 50,000, 200,000, So if they reject your application today for insufficient funding, and you fund your account today, then they will come back to your application in 7 days from today. But if they reject your application today and you fund it, you make up that 100,000 or 200,000 tomorrow, then they will come back to your application 7 days counting from tomorrow. I don't know if you understand me, right? Yeah, so they will even write it there on your workflow that they will come back to this after 7 days. Now, if your application was rejected because your account was short of 1 million naira or more, 1 million naira, 2 million naira or more, and you applied for £4,000, that £4,000 with today's rate, which is 557, that £4,000 should be around 2,228,000, right? And then instead of you to have 2,228,000, that is plus your 15,000. Okay, let's just say total of extra, say 20,000 or 25,000, which includes CBN charge and the bank's charges, for their service. So that should be around 2,250,000 is what should be in your account if you applied for £4,000. So if when they get to your turn and what you have in your account is 1 million instead of 2,250,000, they will reject it. And if they reject it, they will come to your workflow and tell you that they will get back to this application again in 6 weeks. Yes, that is what they will tell you. And trust me, there is nothing you can do to make them to come back to it. many days before that 6 weeks. You have to wait for 6 weeks, because this bank, they assume that since you applied for £4,000, you should know the equivalent in naira before making your application. So when you don't do this, you're waiting for the bank to remind you to fund your account to that naira equivalent. They will reject it because they will believe that you're not even serious. Unlike when they rejected it for insufficient funding, which is just a short of 100,000, 200,000, because I mean they come back to that one in 7 days because they assume that okay, maybe it's because of FS, inflation in FS rates. Maybe you don't know when you apply it was this and now it's higher, right? So they will just that is what they will just assume, and okay, pity you, and come back in 7 days because they have loads of applications to attend to. So you should make sure that you get everything in order before it gets to your turn. I mean, you waited for 6 to 9 weeks and then you don't know what you're applying for, right? You have so many times. I mean, you have so much time to have, get everything done before it gets to your turn. So always make sure that you have everything right before it gets to your turn. Then for other banks like Access Bank, you have to start all over again. When your form or when your application has been rejected, you have to start all over again. So you have to start the wait all over again. Like Access Bank takes 7 weeks minimum. Yeah, so you have to apply again and wait for them to come back to it. And for banks like GT Bank, they don't really need to reject it for insufficient funding, because from the day you applied, I mean the day you applied and then they approved your application, they already locked your fund. So your fund will just be there with them until it gets your turn. So they will not even reject your application because of insufficient funding. So that is it for those banks. Then again, if your application was rejected because you did not upload some documents, then please go to your portal and on the upload section or button, click on it and upload the requested document. That is, just upload the requested documents and then inform your bank via email that you have done this. This is just to make them notify them that you have done this, because they will always see it there. So just go to the upload section or button, upload your requested documents and inform your bank, and they will treat your application. That is just that. Again, when it comes to Form A application, please note that you don't have any business going to your bank in person. Everything is done online. I mean, yeah, Nigeria has upgraded to that level. So everything is done online. You don't need to go to the bank to submit any documents. You do everything online until the day you get debited. And once they debit you, please call your bank or email them for your telex. It's kind of a receipt, evidence to show to your school that okay, I have paid my fees. And that is it. Right, this is where I'll be stopping today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please, if you did, kindly subscribe to my channel. Please, I'm begging you, subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment. You can leave a review on the comment section, please, and then share this video. Somebody might need it. Thank you very much for watching. All right, bye bye and see you next time.